Imagine spending $244 million on a single fighter jet. That's how much India paid for each Rafale. Now, here's the twist. The F-35, widely regarded as the most advanced fighter in the world, costs less than a third of that. It's faster, stealthier, and packed with technology that Rafale can only dream of. So here's the question that has puzzled many. If the F-35 is cheaper and more advanced, why hasn't India bought it to counter Pakistan's own fifth-generation J-35 fighters? Is it just a matter of politics? Or is there something deeper? A mix of alliances, trust, and global strategy that determines who gets the F-35 and who doesn't? Think of it like this. You're at a tech store, and the top-of-the-line laptop costs less than a mid-range one. Yet somehow you're being pushed to buy the expensive model that's actually less powerful. Something doesn't add up, and that something is the story we're about to unravel. To understand why India pays so much for some fighter jets, we need to look at its long history of buying weapons from around the world. Think of it like a global Tinder for jets. Back in the day, India invited the biggest names in fighter jets to compete: the French Rafale, Russian Su-35, European Typhoon, and American F-18. Each jet promised speed, power, and advanced technology. On paper, it was a fair competition, but in reality, politics, money, and influence played a huge role. The contract eventually went to Dassault's Rafale, but whispers of bribery and corruption soon followed. Investigations happened, but nothing really changed. The result? India ended up paying far more for prestige than for efficiency. This pattern shows a larger truth. India's approach to weapons isn't just about buying the best plane for combat. It's about status, strategy, and relationships. And this history of decisions sets the stage for today, where access to cutting-edge jets like the F-35 isn't just about money. It's about who you are on the global stage. It's like playing chess. Every move matters, not just in your own country, but in how other global powers respond. And that's where the United States hierarchy of alliances comes in, determining who gets the best toys in the box. The F-35 isn't something the United States sells to just anyone. In fact, access to this advanced jet is like getting into an exclusive club, and the United States has a very clear tiered system of allies. At the top tier, you have countries like the United Kingdom and Israel. These nations get full access to American military technology, often before anyone else. It's like being a VIP. You see the menu first, and you get the best seats. Next come the important allies such as Japan and South Korea. These countries are strategically positioned on the front lines against China, North Korea, and regional threats. While they don't get the same level of trust as the top tier, they still receive highly advanced weapons, because their role is critical in maintaining regional security. Then there's another layer. Friends or strategic partners like Taiwan, Turkey, and Saudi Arabia. They get modern equipment, but it's usually slightly less advanced. The United States wants to protect its secrets while still helping them defend themselves. This hierarchy isn't random. It's designed to prevent sensitive technology from reaching potential competitors while rewarding loyalty and strategic importance. Think of it like giving a high-tech smartphone only to people you fully trust. Anyone else might accidentally drop it or use it against you. For India, this system creates a tricky situation. It's important, but it isn't at the top of the list. And that means the F-35 isn't just a purchase decision. It's a trust and strategy decision. India isn't just another small ally like the Philippines or Vietnam. It's a regional powerhouse with its own foreign policy. That independence makes the United States cautious about sharing its most advanced weapons. Unlike smaller countries, India maintains close ties with Russia, buying advanced jets, missiles, and defense systems. From Washington's perspective, that's a red flag. If the United States sold India cutting-edge F-35s and relations ever soured, sensitive technology could end up in Russian hands. Something the United States absolutely wants to avoid. Even if India were offered jets like the F-18 or F-16, the F-35 remains off-limits. It's like being invited to a luxury car showroom. You can look at the sports cars and even drive a mid-range model, but the top-tier hypercar stays behind a locked gate. At the same time, the United States still wants to use India as a counterbalance to China without giving it full power. So India is in a delicate spot. It's valuable enough to engage, but independent enough to be seen as a potential risk. This section of the story shows that India's geopolitical independence isn't just a strength. It's also why the F-35 is kept out of reach. That brings us to the operational challenges of the Indian Air Force. Even if politics weren't an issue, there's another major reason why the F-35 isn't coming to India. Operational capability. The F-35 is not just a fighter jet. It's a flying computer. It requires meticulous maintenance, sophisticated support systems, and highly trained personnel to operate safely. For comparison, it's like owning a Formula One car. You can't just drive it like a regular sports car. Every part needs constant care, and a single mistake can cause catastrophic failure. The Indian Air Force, while powerful, faces challenges in maintenance and logistics. Historically, it has had a surprisingly high crash rate and limited infrastructure for cutting-edge aircraft. Introducing a complex jet like the F-35 could increase risks dramatically. Imagine what could happen if multiple F-35s crashed during exercises or conflicts. It wouldn't just be a loss for India, it would damage the reputation of the United States military industry that designed and sold the jet. That's a risk the Americans simply cannot afford. So operational limitations are a practical, real-world barrier. Even if the political and strategic concerns were solved, India would still need years of preparation before it could safely and effectively fly these jets. Next, we'll explore the even higher stakes of a potential India-China conflict and why the F-35's deployment in such a scenario could be extremely risky. Even if India could operate F-35s perfectly, there's another layer of risk combat against China. China has been rapidly advancing its air power with J-20 and J-35 fifth-generation fighters and extremely capable air defense systems. Flying an F-35 into such a scenario wouldn't be like a practice exercise. It would be entering a highly contested battlefield where even small mistakes could be catastrophic. Picture this. India's F-35 jets approaching Chinese airspace, dodging advanced radar and missile defenses, while enemy J-20s maneuver overhead. Any technical glitch or pilot error could not only endanger lives, but also damage the credibility of the F-35 on the global stage. Remember, the F-35 isn't just a weapon, it's a symbol of American technological superiority. A failure in real combat could embarrass the United States just as much as India. This is why the F-35 isn't just withheld because of politics or logistics. There's also a strategic risk calculation. If India faces China in a real war, the potential loss of these jets, or underperformance against advanced defenses, could have global repercussions. In short, even if the United States wanted to sell the F-35 to India, the battlefield realities make it an extremely risky move. Next, we'll explain why. In this complex mix of strategy, politics, and capability, India still ends up being a pawn in the broader United States strategy. After looking at politics, capability, and battlefield risks, the picture becomes clearer. In the eyes of the United States, India is a powerful pawn, valuable, but carefully controlled. The United States wants India to counterbalance China, but it doesn't want India to become so strong that it could act independently or even challenge United States interests one day. Selling the F-35 would give India enormous technological power, which comes with the risk of sensitive data reaching other countries, especially Russia, given India's close ties. Instead, the United States follows a principle of minimal investment for maximum leverage. India gets enough modern jets, training, and support to confront regional threats, but not the very top-tier systems like the F-35. It's like giving a chess player strong pieces, but keeping the queen just out of reach. Even smaller countries, the Philippines, Vietnam, or others, get basic equipment because they pose no threat and can safely use what they are given. India, by contrast, is a regional power with its own foreign policy, so the United States has to be careful. In real-world terms, India can operate F-18s or F-16s, but the F-35 remains strategically off-limits. This balance of influence ensures India contributes to United States goals without gaining unrestrained independence. So, what have we learned? India pays huge sums for Rafale jets, can't access the F-35, and faces both political and operational limits. It's a paradox. India wants the best, but geopolitics, alliances, and battlefield realities shape what it can realistically get. The United States carefully controls who gets its most advanced weapons, keeping top-tier jets like the F-35 for its closest allies. India, despite being a regional powerhouse, is too independent and too closely tied to Russia to earn full trust. At the same time, operational challenges and potential combat risks make introducing the F-35 a dangerous gamble. In the end, India is asked to play a strategic role in Asia without receiving unrestricted access to cutting-edge tech, a pawn with high responsibility but limited power. Yet, this doesn't mean India is powerless. Investing in indigenous aircraft programs, improving maintenance, and carefully negotiating international deals could strengthen its position for the future. Here's a question for you. If you were in charge of India's Air Force, what would you do? Buy more Rafales, focus on homegrown technology, or try to negotiate for F-35s anyway? The story of India and the F-35 isn't just about jets. It's about alliances, strategy, and the delicate balance of power in the modern world.